וילך איש מבית לוי, ויקח את בת לוי, ותהר האישה ותלד בן, ותרא אותו כי טוב הוא, ותצפנהו שלושה ירחים.
The daughter of Levi. That word in Hebrew, bat, can mean biological female child, but then in Isaiah or Zechariah, bat Zion refers to the collective being of Zion. When the Torah says bat Levi or bat Paro, think of it as the essence of, or the soul of, or the collective identity of the Levites, the pharaonic lineage. When the child is born, the mother sees this child is good. When light is created in Genesis, the Divine One says the light is good. She hides him for 3 moons, and titzpenehu is an interesting way to say it. You might remember this from Passover. Tzafun is a part of the Seder when you go look for afikoman, the hidden part, tzafun. Vatitzpenehu, she encrypted this light, and when she can no longer contain this encryption, vatikach lo tevat gome vatachmera bachemar uvazefet. Noah's Ark is called Tevat Noach. The vessel that the child's mother makes is also called Teva. And both of these serve as a way for redemption, for liberation. But Teva in Hebrew can also mean word. So part of what the child's mother is actually making is a word. Not just any kind of word, it's Tevat Gome. Gome means a kind of reed that grows by the water, but where Abraham sends his servant to find Rebecca, the servant sits by the well. When Rebecca finally comes, he says, Hagmi'ini na me'at maim mikadech. That Gimel Mem Aleph root is shared in both of these words. Tevat Gome, a gulping word or a thirst-quenching word. She takes that thirst-quenching word and she brings it into the concrete world by red clay and tar, the colors of anarchist struggle, black and red. She puts the child in it. Vatasem, that root, shin mem, connotes both placing or naming. That connection can be found in Deuteronomy. Lasum Shemot Sham, the Divine One chooses to place their name there. Placing and naming are both contained within the same root, shin mem. And when the Torah says about the child's mother that she placed the child in that ark, the woman actually names the infant through that gulping, thirst-quenching word that she encodes. None of the figures and characters in this passage are named. We get to learn about their names much later on, and they're all operating as a larger scale or further spiritualized version of themselves. So in reading this passage, we get to witness a kind of spiritual diplomacy taking place between the higher beings charged with caring for and guiding the Israelites, the Egyptians, and humanity at large.
ותתצב אחותו מרחוק לדעה מה יעשה לו.
That verb, vatetatzav, I don't think that root appears in the scriptures in that conjugation ever again. It could be thought of as a mixture of 2 kinds of conjugation together. The child's sibling stands there and she is being stood there. Her watching over him is actually divine presence watching over the whole scene. Maimonides talks about these verbs to descend and to ascend, the angels going up and down on Jacob's ladder, or Moses being told to descend from the mountain or ascend to the mountain. When the Pharaoh's daughter, the true being of the Pharaoh, descends, think of it as materializing and becoming tangible. In order for revelation and knowledge of the divine to spread, the Pharaoh is going to have to fight against this true impulse, compassionate impulse to freedom and liberatory defiance. Yeor in Hebrew means river, and also Nahar means river. Both these words, Nahar and Yeor, contain the concept of light in them.
ותראה את התיבה בתוך הסוף, ותשלח את אמתה ותיקחיה.
She sees the ark inside of the reeds. To see is also to understand, to perceive. If you think of the teva as a word that the Pharaoh's daughter saw inside of the reeds, that she was able to comprehend the encrypted word that Moses' mother wove together in order for this narrative to unfold. Vatishlach amata vatikacheha. That verb to take could actually mean to learn. That word amma could mean the forearm, or it could mean the maidservant, and the rabbis argue about that. Ammata, aleph mem tav hey, also can be understood as truth. I'd rather think about it as a kind of conduit that enabled the Pharaoh's daughter to learn the word that was encoded in Moses' ark. Now, the Pharaoh's soul sends her truth duct. In order to crack that encryption, the Pharaoh's daughter had to crack her own heart open. And when she does, she is able to share in the child's prophetic vision and comprehend the single power that drives all existence, coming to her in the image of a weeping infant.
ותאמר לה בת פרעה, הניחי את הילד הזה והניקיהו לי, ואני אתן את שכרך.
The reward that the Pharaoh's daughter will give the child's mother is of course much greater than the 2 pennies per day that a wet nurse would get. This higher aspect of the Pharaoh's being is playing a part as an instrument of liberation and revelation. Knowing that the Pharaoh's lower nature will resist the exodus to the bitter end, she helps set up the situation that will eventually allow its defeat. The reward is a reward on a different scale.
ויגדל הילד, ותביאהו לבת פרעה, ויהי לה לבן.
And then when the Pharaoh's daughter goes down to purify on this same light stream, she's able to perceive the encoded word that Moses' mother was able to bring into the world through red clay and tar, and through that perception actually crack the code and give Moses his name, Waterpuller, because I have pulled him from the water.
ותקרא שמו משה, ותאמר כי מן המים משיתי